RDA Sports coverage of the National Football League takes us to the banks of the Ohio River and Paycor Stadium in the Queen City of Cincinnati. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. Taking it about the 1. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And this drive will start on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. So that a nightmarish start to a football game as they give the ball away on the opening kickoff.
And they put their defense in a bind right away. They have to go into protect mode.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Jet sweep. Here's Pickens with it. Shifts by at the 15. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. Delay of game penalty. Ships them back 5 yards, makes it 3rd and 10. Here's Pickett. Open man is Johnson. Touchdown Steelers. Deontay Johnson. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers march right down the field in 3 plays to claim the early advantage. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers.
Makes the score Steelers 7, Bengals nothing.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fields it right around the goal line. And he will be brought out here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They begin on the ground with Kamara, and he is going to lose yardage here. They'll lose a yard there. And 11.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 15-yard line.
On one, ready?
Here's Burrow. They'll get this out to Kamara. And some room to roam now. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That goes for a gain of 31. The offense has to love that because that was just a dump down, and then he turned something out of seemingly nothing.
And the best quarterbacks understand that dumping it down is often a good play, a better play than even what was drawn up.
The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Burrow on play action. He's got a man complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. An excellent gain, 35 yards. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive. And these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got it? Someone cover him. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. He finds his target. It's Schultz. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. That was a lightning-fast decision that time. He just caught it and got rid of it.
Because he saw his guy was going to be open immediately. So he took the R, the run, out of the play. He took the O, the option, out of the play, and immediately got to the pass.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. Pass is caught for a first, but he's looking for more. The fake field goal catches everyone by surprise. And the Bengals' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Evan McPherson now for the PAT. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they are back down to the 500 mark after 2 straight losses. And, Charles, this is a team that, to be frank, their play has really dropped off the last couple of weeks.
And, Brandon, I think there's a sense around the building that they can't let this losing streak get any worse than it is. Because if they were to lose here and fall below 500, then you're playing catch-up the rest of the way. They've got to take a stand and make it stop right now.
A first carry for Najee Harris. 2 yards is the pickup, and it'll give the Steelers a first down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
And some room to work. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That burst good for 20 and a first down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber that runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. And the Bengals are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now, defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he's got a Bengals first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line. These two teams all tied after one. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. They run it again with Kamara. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Well, for Alvin Kamara, that speed-size combo, just about exactly what you want for a running back, and he uses that size, that strength to bust through a would-be tackler there.
And that, in a nutshell, shows you what this guy's made of. I mean, most guys in the NFL just can't do that. He absorbed the contact, refocused himself, and made a break for the end zone.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now Burrow. This pass hauled in by Dotson. And they're going to move it down inside the 25. The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Now it's Burrow. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
McPherson's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys. Points on the board.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Pickett leads his Steelers up here with a fresh set of downs at their own 23. Harris will start the drive out, and he'll get this just across the 25-yard line.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know you're trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Harris going to get it again on second down. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Pickett. That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least, it'll be 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 23. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
On the counter, here's Kamara. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped. But what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, and ends up spilling it for a loss.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. They go play action with Burrow. Able to connect with Dotson. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That's a third down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Burrow. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. The Bengals at 1-5, really struggling here to start the year. Yeah, they've lost 3 straight here, and it kind of goes without saying, I guess, but they could certainly use a win.
Yeah, no doubt about that. There's a difference between a losing stretch and a losing streak, and right now, they're not playing their best football, but if they were to fall here, and now you're looking at going 4 games without a win, things can start compounding themselves pretty quickly from this point forward.
Here we go. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. Here we go. 12. He finds his man, complete. It's Schultz. Touchdown, Bengals. Dalton Schultz with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. In the 2nd quarter, and already his 2nd touchdown reception.
Absolutely the definition of a difference maker here in this first half. Clearly one of his quarterback's favorite targets in this game. And I figure he's going to draw a little more attention and coverage moving forward.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Very short kick taken right at the 20. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They trail by 10, 17-7 as they come up on a 1st and 10. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 44 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. The running game fully in sync, 1-11 on that play.
And sometimes it comes from the offensive coordinator, understanding what he thinks the defense is going to do and dialing up the perfect play. Sometimes the quarterback, though, can look at the defense, realize he needs to change it to a run, and that gets it done in a big way as well.
And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up. On 2nd and 7, Pickett. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. But they've been fighting and scratching and clawing for that first sack in the game, and it turns out to be a big one. Not just a short one right there behind the line. First one they get, 10-plus yards, and the guy has the legs to escape most of these. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away. This is taken around the 12. Well, a solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. Play action. It's Burrow. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Off the play fake, here's Burrow. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And this is caught on the sideline. And he gets out of bounds as well. How about that? They give him a gain of 37.
I'm seeing a lot of hands on hips in that secondary, and I suspect a lot of mumbling under their breath as well, because this defense has had no answer for the passing game here in the first half.
Here we go.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
Here we go.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. Kamara trying again. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it. So on comes the field goal unit. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. McPherson's kick is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Steelers going to get the football first here, trailing on the scoreboard as we are back underway on EA Sports. Very short kick taken right at the 20. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And right out of the gate, they face what you think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
He's got this to Pickens. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, He was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And according to Next Gen Stats, he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And the Bengals are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
11.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They take over here following the interception. That's the good news. The tough spot is the spot that they're in. That's inside the 5 in the shadow of their own goalpost here. 1st and 10. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they work this out past the 25. 23 yards, the final tally.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not. At this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
72 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They're passing here. Joe Burrow drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again.
I know that no game in the NFL is ever easy, but they're making it look that way. Everything is being done with such precision. Just on this drive alone, 3 plays, 3 first downs. If you're on defense, you're scrambling, looking at each other, trying to figure out how are we going to slow these guys down.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Sets him up nicely. 1st and goal. It was a pickup of 14.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Mixon is going backwards as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just a third quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances. So they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage, as he's going to be taken down. It'll wind up going as a sack and a loss of 2. And now the task gets more difficult here on 3rd and goal. And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal, with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? They'll try to run it in. It's Kamara. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
But this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. McPherson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin the second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. And it's intercepted. They got Pickett for the third time in this game. And the Bengals are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed a quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guy?
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, third quarter, but that, not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now, if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
Quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
They started this drive backed up against the wall by the turnover, but I love their fight, planted their feet, and forced the incompletion on first down.
On second down, this is Harris. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about tiny? You're talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
Throwing on 3rd down. Here's Pickett. And that is incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Boswell's kick is good, and that will finish off this third quarter of play. And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired on this third quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Boswell on now to kick this one away. Taken in at the 3. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Burrow will throw. Complete. It's Dodson. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
Here we go. 11, 11, 11, 11.
Burrow looking to pass. And he's got his big wide receiver complete. And he is going to have the Bengals first down. He needed 5. He got it barely as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards.
Here we go.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
11, MC, paint. 11, 11.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Target is to Dotson, and he's got him. Finding room at midfield. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 23 yards on the play. Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the fourth quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. So that run play nullified by the holding call on the tight end.
Yeah, I just think he needs to get off the ball. Then he doesn't have to reach and grab and try and hold on.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. 87 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
For a Cincinnati score. Donovan Peoples-Jones, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. McPherson on for the point after. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Pickett back to throw. He's got his tight end Freiermuth over the middle. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to run.
Pickett to throw on first down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 23 yards on the play. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the fourth. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution. Even though the scoreboard is going against you, you want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Finding Pickens for another catch. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it'll be second down. Harris running straight ahead. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it first and goal. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Well, now Harris lost it. It's a fumble, and the Bengals grab it. And now look at him go. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. And that's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
This likely a must-have. Third and goal. Looking to throw, Pickett. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I like what they tried to do there. Tried to hit him with something quick, get the ball in his hands, and hope he could make some yards after the catch and pick up a first down. Weren't able to do so on that play.
Pickett, fourth down, desperation time. And it'll be intercepted. Hooked up by Jess. Now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football. And the offense will recover, but it won't make much difference here. This will still be a turnover on downs. Well, do you want to unpack that one, or do you want me to?
You're the boss.
We get the interception, then really he's just too loose with the football on the return, and he coughs it right back up the other way.
I've seen this happen in an NFL game, and boy, did it cost someone. San Francisco at Atlanta a few seasons ago. Atlanta throws the interception. San Francisco runs it back. Game is salted away. Fumbles on the return. Atlanta gets it back. Drives down, kicks it.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Najee Harris. His 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Steelers have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Boswell good with the extra point, and that cuts this lead down to 13.
Steelers 17. Chris Boswell, the kickoff for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Taking it about the 1. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the 4th quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
11 MT, 11 MT.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Here we go, here we go.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. And they go play action now. Burrow. And that will be incomplete. And sensing the momentum maybe changing here a little bit, Charles.
Yeah, this defense is going to get off the field quickly, and their offense got them a touchdown last time they had the ball, so they should get another shot.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. Now Austin. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for it.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. That is now 5 interceptions that he has thrown in this ball game. If I asked you to speculate what's possibly going on in his head, what would you say?
Well, if he's as mentally strong as I believe he is, he understands that not all of these picks have been his fault. You know, some of the throws, yes, but there have been a good number of them where he hasn't been helped by his own receivers, and they've turned into interceptions. So he knows if he keeps firing, perhaps good things can happen, not just in this game, but especially in later ones.
A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And down to the 36-yard line here. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot. But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one.